Hey guys, welcome back for another installment of Firestorm at Home. It's Coach FreeLove bringing you another episode of Parkour. So it's Parkour episode 8. We are hanging out, as you guys can see, in my living room, our living room. Still got Summer behind the camera. Hi, Summer.
Hi.
We are clearly 6 feet apart, but we are staying at home, as you guys can see, so that we can reduce some of our unnecessary travel, as it were. We are going to move the rest of our live stream episodes to our living room. So if you guys have seen some of our Saturday morning Acroflex we've been shooting in our living room, we're going to continue with that trend, keeping that up, and just try and help promote the idea of flattening the curve, trying to take care of everything we can in the best way that we can. So it's super important that we do so. I think that everyone should contribute as best as possible. And so this is our chance. We're going to be expanding our live stream. We're going to be adding on Little Heroes. So Little Heroes is going to be starting on Wednesdays. Those Wednesdays is going to be from 11 to 11:30. We're also having Little Heroes on Saturdays as well. So it's going to be Wednesdays and Saturdays. Saturdays it's going to be from 10:30 to 11. So that's 2 times that you guys can get your 4 to 6-year-olds, or honestly, if you want your 2 and 3-year-olds to do it at home, they can do it too. So it's just a younger age group to give them something to do, because I know that this is a tough and confusing time for a lot of our younger family members. We want to take care of you guys as far as it goes, so we're adding on Little Heroes and strength and conditioning classes. So all of our parkour classes are kind of workout classes, and you'll see that in today's workout specifically. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to target a lot of our abs and then a little bit of our arms. So with our strength and conditioning classes, it's just a workout. These are targeting things that we would use for skills. Our strength and conditioning is going to be just an opportunity to go and get it. And if you guys don't do classes at the gym, it's just going to be a chance to go and work out just that little bit. So without any further ado, it should have given you enough of a chance to get your living room clear. We can very clearly see our space is as open as it can be. We've split our chairs to the side, coffee table off to the side. It's a good look. We like it. We're going to go on ahead and get our workout started. We're going to take a nice strong postured position. Deep breath, chin up, nice and strong. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to do that 2 more times. In through the nose and out through the mouth. 1 more. In the nose, out the mouth. All right, keep your posture. Don't let it go anywhere. We're going to go on ahead and roll our chin over, roll it down, and up on the opposite side, just like every other class, just like every other time. We're going to go on ahead and roll that out. Nice. Keep it strong. Keep yourself going. One of the things you can do, keep going, is put your hands actually behind your back just like that. So keep rolling and put those hands back behind your back. This will help you to keep your shoulders and your chest in a better posture. All right, you want to go ahead and stop with the neck. We're going to start with the shoulders and big backward shrugs today. Big backward shrugs. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen any of our previous episodes shot at home, but we have 2 lovely and adorable kitty cats that I have currently locked in our bedroom. Because some of the movements that we're going to be doing today, we don't accidentally want to injure our pets. So you have to be like the same way with your family, considerate with your family and that space that you guys share. We're going to be the same way with our pets. So unfortunately, they're not going to be here. We'll let them out for stretches, but not right now. Go ahead and switch to the opposite direction and circle those forward circles now. Nice. Get a deep breath that whole time in the nose and out the mouth. Go ahead and bring it to a stop. should feel that shoulders just a little warm up, just a little bit. We're going to reach out to the sides. We're going to do our lateral arm circle now. So bring the hands, I'm going from outside to over the top to my head. This is going to be my first direction. In just a moment, we're going to switch and go our opposite direction. Keep that going. Try and keep your elbows at the height of your shoulders. And remember, if you guys are members, you guys can keep your membership active. That is something you guys can totally do. I know that these are trying times, and while there is maybe not a gym to go to, if you would like to support us, that's one of the things that you can do to support us. If you guys are not a member, then this doesn't make any sense to you, and that's okay. You guys can join us for membership after the end of the quarantine when we open up again. But then stop, switch to the opposite direction. Nice. Try and keep those elbows up, don't let them drop. Keep your posture, you shouldn't be slouching. Stay up strong, nice and strong. Breathing in the nose and out the mouth. All right, going ahead and stop there. We're gonna leave those arms out. We're gonna flex our hands. Flex that hand. Pull it straight back towards your chest. Right, so arms out, flexed hands. And we're going to point those hands straight down and really curl those fingers in, just like that, like almost like a praying mantis, right? And we're gonna pull those fingers back in towards our elbows as much as possible and keep those arms up and out while you do so. And back to that flex, really warming up our forearms and our wrists for some of the workouts that we're gonna do later on today. And going back down into that point. Keep the arms up means that we're going to keep those shoulders and back muscles active. And back into that flex. And back into that point. And flex one last time. Flex, flex, flex as much as you can. And point it down. Good. Drop your arms. Man, that should feel nice and warm and active now. Great. We're going to go ahead and move down to our torso just a little bit further. Widen your stance just a little bit more. As you guys can see, I clearly don't have a mat under me, and I'm in socks today. I'm barefoot, not in shoes. So, no mat under me. I'm barefoot, no shoes. So if you guys get the opportunity to do so, or not barefoot, I'm in my socks, rather. Either one or the other. But now, again, take that wide stance. We're gonna do our torso twist. Nice, strong torso twist. Slow, controlled twist, right? I'm gonna twist as far as I possibly can to my max. When I get to the end of my range of twist, hold it for 3, 2, 1, and then come back. So we're gonna twist as far as possible, all the way over, twist all the way around, twist, 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 twist for 3, 2, 1. Good, and one more time in either direction. Twist, twist, twist all the way for 3, 2, 1, and untwist, opposite direction. Look the way you're twisting, all the way in there for 3, 2, 1. Good, and untwist. Come on out of that. Nice. We're gonna add a little bit of momentum now. If you're in socks and on carpet, be careful, it might be slippery. I'm going to twist with my arms added into that with a little bit, again, more momentum, more speed. If you've done it with us before, make sure you get on into it. All right, good. We're gonna stop there. Start with our hips now. We're gonna go ahead and do our pelvic circles, or our hip rolls. Just like in any and every other episode that you guys have watched, we have to do our mobility. Warming up our joints, moving our body is one of the most important parts of any and all of our workouts. So, if we don't do our mobility, then, well, we are really slacking as far as it goes. Because your body is like the most important thing, and you have to take great care of it. So, make sure that you guys are doing so. Even if all you do is just this first few minutes and do only the mobility, at least you're taking care of your joints. doing well for your body in that sense. Stop there and go the opposite direction. Again, isolate the spine as much as possible. Try and make sure that you are not going around with your torso here, but instead you're going around with your hips down here. All right, good. We're gonna keep in that wide straddle, and instead of doing our knee circles today, we're gonna go into a few side-to-side lunges. So we're gonna dip into a nice little lunge here, just going in there sideways, and then we're gonna come back and across to the opposite side. You guys can see I'm staying nice and low, nearly level, as I travel across side to side, and I'm not going super fast, I'm taking it nice and slow. But I lock my knee into an extended position on either end of this movement. You guys want to keep your heels flat, your feet are pointed out at about 45 degrees, your heels are staying flat this whole time. So, nice, wide, slow movement, back and forth, and we can go on ahead and put a little bit more speed and a little bit more dip in. Just exaggerate the movement a little bit more now. Yeah, there we go. You should feel that in your glutes, your hamstrings, so everything under and then the back side of your thigh. And then also the end of your quad. When you lock down, you'll feel that in your quad right at the top of your knee. So, and then just simply hold a wide squat there in the middle. You guys should feel some of that here in your calf, because our next bit, what we're gonna do is just a few calf raises while we're in here. So lift those heels up and set them down, and up and set them down. Just a few times, breathing in the nose and out the mouth, right? Good. Go ahead and give that a rest. Lock those legs into a straddled position. We're gonna lean straight down, lock 90 degrees here at the waist. Our back and our body are nice, flat, and level platform essentially. And we're just gonna hold it for a moment. Just feel that little bit of stretch in the hamstring, the back side of your thigh. Then we're gonna squat back down. We're gonna widen out so that we feel that in our hips, back side of our hips, our glutes a little bit. Good, and we're gonna go on ahead and lock that back out. Breathing the whole time. You go on ahead and stand up. Carefully and slowly bring those legs back together. We're gonna start with our jog. Just a little bit of warm up, right? That's probably felt like the start of it, but it's starting now. So jog in place. Make sure that you guys aren't traveling all over your living room. Don't bump into things. Try and stay in place. Make sure the space that you have made, you're not all the way off to one side or the other. Center yourself as much and as best as possible, especially for some of today's workouts. A lot of the workouts that we're gonna do today, we're gonna, again, start with some core stuff and then move our way into our upper body and our arms stuff. Now, stop the jog. We're gonna go on ahead and start with a few squats. So, as best as you can, get your feet and knees as close as possible for these squats. We're gonna do a closed leg squat. Try and squat down. If your heels come up, that's okay. But if you want to challenge yourself, if your heels come up, like I get, okay. But if you want to challenge, heels down. Do your squat. Heels down. All the way down. And all the way back up. We're gonna do just a few more squats there. Try and keep your knees together as best as possible. Nice. Just a few more. Good. And we're going to go ahead and get back into a nice light jog. So, we're going to be focusing on the muscle groups that we would need for a pike, a hanging pike rather. So if you guys are in a bars class, you guys are going to work on a few different bar skills. But pike is one of them, where we are hanging, folded on the bar. Most people don't have any kind of bar in their room, their home. But, you know, that being said, we're going to improvise by working those areas out so that when you do have that opportunity to practice the skill, it won't be so uncomfortable. Right? Nice. Okay, stop. Woo. All right, we're going to drop into a push-up position from that push-up position, we're gonna hold it nice and strong. We're gonna do just a few shoulder touches. Most of the time our push-up position has our feet together, but for now, if you place them slightly wider at your shoulder width, it will help you to stay a little bit more stable and do this movement without falling over. So, next part of our warm-ups. Get on down. Hold yourself up nice and strong. Nice and neutral. Wide stance there. Good. Hand to opposite shoulder. Bring left hand to right shoulder. And right hand to left shoulder. Just like that. Keep your head in a neutral position. If I'm looking up, I'm giving you corrections. You guys want to try and keep your chin in. Don't forget to breathe. Keep breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And go on ahead and stop there. Go on ahead and bring yourself up to a nice big old stand. And we should feel pretty warm. We're going to go on ahead, get a quick sip of water. Go for it, guys. Go on ahead, get that water. You, do me a big old favor. Please stand by.
Put it back over there.
Go back where?
Over there on the chair so I can put it
There you go.
there.
There you go. Whew.
Can you close the blinds ever so slightly? The sun is coming behind you and making you look very lit up. Thank you, Coach FreeLove. Just like a little, like there. There we go. Thank you.
Is that better?
Yes, much. Coming back.
Alright, coming back. So I'm just making sure that everything that we get to address is in the right stuff. Now, we are going to go over the muscle groups that you need for a hanging pike, which is when you're on a bar hanging. Your pullover, which is one of the skills where you need to get your feet up and over the bar. If the bar is here and you're holding on to it, you're going to bring your feet around it and over. And your forward roll, which is the exact opposite of your pullover, where I'm holding on the bar and I spin around it, going forward, down it, doing a forward roll. So our first workouts are going to be dedicated to the core and the idea that we don't have bars, we're not going to be practicing those skills, but they can be kind of abrasive on that lower mid-abdomen, and so we're going to strengthen that area so that when we hit it, it's not going to be so bad. So our first workout today is actually going to be a hollow body rocker. We're going to get a nice big open space where we can lay down comfy, and we're going to talk about what a hollow body is and what an arched body is real quick. So a hollow body, this is essentially a straight body where I'm laying flat, where my arms are straight up. A hollow body is where my body is like a banana going forward, where I'm holding myself up here like this. That's pretty much it. That's hollow, right? I'm rounding my shoulders, curling my shoulder blades up off the ground, pulling my shoulders in, reaching my arms up. I'm using my upper body to curl my upper body, using my back and shoulders to aid in that reach. My lower body, I am pointing my toes and I'm lifting by flexing through the quad. And just a little bit of the lower abdomen to help curl out the low back. Like I'm curling my hip forward, right? So I'm curling my hip, curling my upper body. And this is my hollow body position. Not exactly an easy one. Your arch is literally the exact opposite. So let's all flip over real quick. And we're going to lay flat on our stomach. We're going to go ahead and make sure that we spread out nice and wide, nice and strong, nice and long. And our goal here, just to start, we're going to start with our legs. We're going to flex in our glutes and lock out our hamstrings and our quads,
pointing our toes and lifting our legs off the ground. You guys can see I've actually also lifted my chest off the ground to do so because I'm squeezing so much of my back muscle that I'm curling myself up backwards. So, straight body again, but now I'm curling backwards in my legs, using all of my back, lifting my chest off the ground, now adding my arms at length to that whole movement. So, we did our hollow, which is like a banana in the front, and this one, which is our arch, it's like a banana in the back. So, big arch lift. Everybody got that? Nice. So, our goal right now for our first workout is a hollow body rocker. Coach, what's that mean? Exactly what you think. We're gonna rock in it. So we're gonna go ahead and start by making sure if you do not have a mat and you're on a hard floor like a hardwood or tile floor, go get a mat, get a blanket, get something to soften this blow. That is the first thing to do. If you did not already do that, I'm sure you felt laying on a hard surface, you felt how we were laying straight on our spine. And that is so uncomfortable. So for the workout, if we can cushion that, that is our goal, is to cushion that. We're going to get that cushion laid out under us, or currently I'm laying on a carpet floor, nice and comfy, nice and soft. I'm going to be able to start in my L-sit essentially, my arms up, and I'm going to curl myself low in the spine and in through the body until I get into my hollow. And as I do that, I'm going to let my fall lift my legs up. I'm going to start the rock. So our first workout is a hollow body rocker. We're going to lift up and curl and rock. We're going to hold this hollow body shape, just rocking straight forward and backward. Maybe your feet will drop and hit the ground. Try not to sit in a pike. Oh, that's not your goal. Your goal is to stay out in your hollow. Woo. And breathe. And rest. All right. So, I'm sure you can feel how much of your body you have to use to do that. It's like all of it. You have to go from being all these different parts to being one singular part. There's not a single part of a banana that's a joint, right? If you try to bend or fold a banana, it breaks because it is one rigid shape. We have to be that same thing for our hollow body rockers. Now, there's another workout that we're going to add on to that, which is the opposite. Just like there's an arch and a hollow, there's a hollow body rocker, there's an arch body rocker. So that one can be slightly uncomfortable. It is just kind of what it is. We're going to be building up a lot of the resistance and the resilience that we can have on the front side of our body. So if we end up resting on a bar or a rail, one of the things that we end up doing sometimes is our lower abdomen gets sore, it hurts. We're not really tolerant of that. This will help us build that tolerance. It will help us to develop the strength that we need in that part of our body. So an arch body rock is going to look just like this. We're going to go ahead, we can lift ourselves up almost like in a seal position if you want. Some people prefer to do it this way, let themselves fall in. But what I like to do is start with my hands and my elbows planted pretty strongly so I can lift my legs up. You can even put your hands behind you and lift your legs up. And then from there, I kick myself into a small lift for my chest. So, I add my reach, and I hold that hollow body position. Now, I keep my head up personally for right now, as I'm constantly coming back and talking to you guys. But you should add your head in to the space between your elbows. Boom. Put that in there like that. So, for you guys at home, it should be just like this. Lifting yourselves up one way or the other, but getting going with a kick. And that's our arch body rocker. So, guys, I know this is probably interesting. That should have been the thumbnail. Oh man. No, alright, so we're gonna go on ahead and we're gonna do that as a circuit, flipping back and forth between hollow body rockers and arched body rockers. So now everybody gets it. We're gonna go on ahead and get back into our hollow body. Go ahead and sit up, fall in. We're gonna rock for about 30 seconds. Is that 30 seconds in?
Yes, about now.
Good. All right, take a seat, sit on up, and we're gonna flip over for another 30 seconds. Go ahead, get in there.
That's about 30.
All right, sick. So that was a great little workout. We're gonna go on ahead and add one last little bit onto that. I hope everyone's ready. We're gonna go on ahead and take nice, strong table position. For our table position, we're gonna talk about our hip and the hip curl. We're gonna curl our hips back, tilting our pelvis down, almost opening our lower abdomen. So boom. And then we're gonna do the opposite, boom, and push ourselves back in. So it's very much like our arch and our hollow. So we're gonna go arch body and hollow body. And arch body and hollow body. 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 We're going to hold that hollow body. Hold it super strong. Push your shoulder blades wide open. As wide as you possibly can. Good. And we're going to go on ahead and sit back on our heels for just a moment. We're going to end up going back out into our hollow and doing a few flutter kicks in our hollow extension, our hollow body hold. So, go on ahead and get back down into that hollow. Straighten those legs out. Nice and long, nice and extended. If you guys need to, you can put your hands down or out to the ground around you to help you hold yourself up. But our best and most effective way to do this workout is to go on ahead and add them to this reach up here. So that way we're strengthening our obliques as well. When our arms are down here, they're not active. But when we add that reach, not just by reaching up with our arms, but by reaching up with our shoulders, by shrugging our shoulder blade up and off of our scapula, off of our rib cage, right? Lifting that up. We're gonna go on ahead and then lift and reach into hollow and flutter kick by going right then left, just like that. That's really it. So make sure that when you guys are doing your flutter kick, if your legs are bent, that you're not really getting the workout. That you guys are trying to extend your legs as straight as possible. We're gonna go on ahead and go into that hollow. And in, hold, kick. We're gonna go on ahead and keep that flutter kick going. Keep breathing in your nose and out your mouth. And rest. Catch your breath by going in your nose and out your mouth. Go on ahead and get ready. We're going to do it once more. So lift into that hollow. Hold it with a nice tight squeeze. So big reach through the shoulder blades, through the back. Curl in the back. Lift the legs up. Arms up. Flutter, go. And rest. Good. So go ahead and sit yourselves up. Catch your breath for just a moment. Good. And if you guys need to, you can always keep your water close by. So go on ahead, get a quick sip of water if you've got it now. I've got mine. I'm going to do so. All right, guys. Thank you for going ahead and getting your water. You guys are joining me again for just the end of our abs workout. We have just a few more ab workouts that we're going to do in order for us to really accurately, adequately strengthen our core, making sure that we're ready for, again, our hanging pike when it's time for us to do that skill and get that signed off, as well as our pullover, and finally our forward roll, making sure that the parts of our body that are coming in contact with the bar are worked out and that we are strong enough to do the skill when, again, that time comes. Now, for those of you that don't know, there's actually a tutorial you guys can check out. That's tutorial number 16, and that one specifically is going to go over your pullover. And so this next couple of workouts are going to be a little bit more oriented towards specifically that pullover technique. We're going to go ahead and take a seat in the center of our space as best as possible. From that point, we are going to lay down flat. Now, if you guys have something that you can slip your hands under, like a couch or a chair, that's strong enough that it will hold you, that this is going to be a super helpful thing. If you don't have one of those items, that may be a little bit more tough to manage. You having siblings may help you. If you have someone that can stand, if they're able to stand on your hands, or if you can possibly go into another room, take a stream with you, and find something that you can hold on to, something nice and strong, like a counter or a wall simply. Now, we're going to go on ahead and take that strong hollow body sort of position here under this, and we're going to pull our toes straight up towards the ceiling in an L, and when we get towards the top of that, we're actually going to try and lift our lower back and our hips up off the ground. So if we can, it's going to be straight legs up, then hips up and spine up. Nice.
Should I sit in the chair so you don't lift it up?
No, you should be fine. But as you guys can see, my furniture item of choice, let's see if I can rotate it. If I can put the heavy side over my hands, maybe that'll help me. Yeah, that's a lot better. Awesome. And so this, you can imagine, would be a little bit more of a challenge or more painful or uncomfortable, well, with hard floor. So make sure that you guys have some sort of a cushion underneath you. Take a moment to get a cushion, get a blanket, grab a blanket from before, if it's a towel, if it's an actual mat. Some of you have a cat bed that you can put a cat bed down under your back, under your lower back, or, oh, yeah, there we go. Now we can go ahead, and now it's really worth the $35 that you spend on your cat furniture. Nice, lift up and get that body up. Coach, straight legs is so tough. Right, it is. You can tuck your legs to make your life easier. So we're gonna do this same workout with a slight bend in our knee now, so I can bring my knee in, and now from the tuck I can kick myself up and over. Right, so boom, boom. Oh, sick, coach. Now what? Try and toe touch the thing above you, and then come back down. Tutorial number 16 will break down how to do your pullover. This workout is one of the coolest, easiest, best things that you can do at home to replicate those muscle groups and their activation and this inversion. So it's a pretty fun workout. Go on ahead and get just a few more of these lifts up. So again, you can do it straight leg, or I'll continue with bent legs for those of you that are just joining. Tuck in, kick up, and come back down onto that cat bed. Oh, sick. Nice. Go ahead. Keep whatever your cushion is underneath you, and keep your action going strong and consistent as best as you can. All right, I think that's good. We're gonna go on ahead and sit on our cat bed, take a seat, catch our breath for a second, rest. So that workout was the last workout that was going over our abs and our core strengthening that we can do. That's specifically gonna help us with those previously mentioned skills. Our next skill that we're going to go over, our next series of skills, is actually kind of a series of wall skills that we can do like on the floor and in the house and at home. So we're not actually going to use the walls. We're going to be using stuff like a soft piece of elevated furniture that you can have your hands on, like your couch or a chair. Probably won't need the cat bed anymore, so we can get rid of that, give it back to the cat, so that there's no issues with your animals thinking that, you know, now that your bed is available, it's their bed because you were using theirs. No, all right, we're gonna go ahead and say that that was way long enough for us to catch our breath. Hope you guys were able to catch your breath. I caught mine. We're gonna get started with our, well, wall run to cat workout is our first one. So for those of you that have never done them before, our first workout is mountain climbers. We're gonna go on ahead and imagine we're not on a vertical wall, we're on a horizontal one. The floor that we are standing on is going to be our wall for this first workout. Now we're going to put our hands down and we're going to drive our knees, one knee after the other, in and up. Just like that. Now I'm intentionally not letting my front foot drop and hit the ground. That's our version of this movement. So when you pull that knee up and into your chest, don't let your front foot hit the floor. We're gonna go on ahead and keep this movement going nice and strong. So hit that good, strong push-up position. And from that hold, drive the knee in and switch. And stop. And we're going to get our soft piece of cushy furniture. We're gonna get that involved now. You can have a high spot or a low spot. Either way, it doesn't matter. The higher up, the easier it's going to be for you to do this next bit. We're gonna put our hands elevated and continue our mountain climbers. So we're gonna go on ahead, put our hands up onto that elevated space and go back into it. Go ahead and stop. Drop back down onto the ground. Continue those level mountain climbers. So get back down nice and low. In that push up and go. And stop. And back to the elevated space and go. And rest. Stand up nice and tall, nice and strong. Good posture. Chin up neutral. Shoulders and chest up. Lastly, elbows up, hands up. Deep breath in the nose and out the mouth. Take your time, catch your breath. All right, so it's quite a bit of a workout. You'll feel that in your quads. It's the front side and the top side of your thighs. And that's by no means like a small muscle group. So we're gonna go ahead and continue our workout here really specifically for our chest and shoulders is really our goal now. So we're going to continue with that idea of an elevated surface to help us, if you have one, that you can use. We're going to do a few front leans from a downward facing dog position. So if you need help with this movement, you'll be putting your hands on your elevated surface, right? If you don't need help with this movement, you're gonna be doing it here on the flat ground. It's gonna look like this. I'm gonna go from a downward facing dog, this nice folded body position here, into a small front lean and hold. My pointed toes are the last part of that. I go from flex to dog and out, point the toes, push the shoulders past the hands and hold, and then come back. And do it again. Out. And hold. And come back. And so, you're like, Coach, question, how is that for your wall run to cat? And you're right, it's a good question. It's not. It's for the separate skill that we're working on. That's a wall skill. That's going to be your cat to half cat, as well as your half cat to cat. Essentially your basic climb up, but done at a higher level, and just speaking with those climb up terms that we use in parkour, at least that we use on our curriculum at Firestorm. There's many terms for these moves. So do keep that in mind. This movement may be one that you can replicate, and you just may not know our terminology. So that being said, someone else may not know our terminology. Now that you know it, they may use different terms. Don't judge people for knowing different things. We're going to go on ahead and continue with this workout. Again, if you need to, you can use your hands on an elevated space like I am here. I can go into my dog, hands up, and then I can push myself forward, moving my shoulders past my hands, pointing my toes, and then coming back, downward dog. So, keeping that movement going, we are working actively the muscle groups that would be from a cat hang to a half cat. Now, go ahead and give it a rest, catch your breath for just a moment, understand how intense some of those movements can be. They are pretty heavy. There's no doubt in my mind, I understand. So, if you guys need to, you can always go get a quick sip of water, or just take a brief rest. I'm going to get back into those movements now after my bit of explanation after my brief rest. So, Hands down on the ground. Nice strong downward facing dog. From here, head is tucked in. And this is essentially my cat hang. Now I'm bringing myself forward and up, essentially into my half cat. Then back into that downward facing dog. And some of you may be feeling some wrist strain, so we're going to take a second to address that. It's okay. Take a moment to rest. Interlock your fingers and roll out your wrist. Or shake them out. Or you can physically grab and pull. Now, that method is used often, and there's a lot of people that will grab just the fingers and will pull the finger. But it's very important that when you grab and you pull, that you're also grabbing not just the fingers, but you're grabbing the hand. So we're going to grab and pull on the back of the knuckles up here, not down here on the fingers, right? Pull here. So grab and pull, stretch the wrist out, flip and flex, stretch this wrist this way, turn it around, switch it over to the opposite wrist, grab and pull, pulling on the hand, and flip it, flex it back, pulling it back of the hand towards the wrist. Again, now I'm pulling on the pad of the hand, pulling on the opposite side of those knuckles on the pad in here. Good, shake them out, get back into your workout as soon as you're done with those wrist stretches. Coach, ow, my wrists were hurting. Good question. That's your solve right there. Fix it. Here's your answer. Stretch the wrists out, get back into your workout right away. All right, go on ahead and give that one a rest. We're going to call it quits for that workout. That one is a pretty intense one. But then again, our cat to half cat and our half cat to cat are also orange rank skills. So you guys, if you want to learn more about those skills, you can check out the tutorials for all of our cool climb ups. It is a series of 4 different tutorials I'm going to recommend to you. So that's tutorial 12 and 13. So 12 and 13 are going to be good tutorials for your basic climb up and also your cat hang and cat position. And then we have 51 and 52. That's going to be your essentially your wall run to cat, as well as your elevated jump to cat, jump to half cat, jump to crane. So all of your like elevated going up the wall climb up techniques that this kind of addresses. So again, I know it's a lot of tutorial content, and Justin is a wonderful coach. He gives you a bunch of very, very detailed information. You guys can check all of that out. It's going to be 12 and 13 basic climb ups, 51, 52 advanced climb ups. It's the best way that I can put that. We're going to continue with a little bit more of our advanced climb up stuff. I know I said that this is supposed to be like a walls a day. That being said, we're going to talk about what you do usually when you get to the top of a wall, something that we call like often a cast to conga or a cast to squat on, or a top out. And so that's going to be one of our last workouts today, probably one of the hardest workouts that we've done to date. So that being said, it's going to be another tough one of those body position workouts. So using all of our previous workouts, we'll imagine that that was our training to get to the edge of the wall. Now we're getting on top of it. We're going to start with a nice strong push-up position. And for those of you that are in your socks or on carpet floor, you already have a good advantage. If you have those socks, you'll slide on carpet, you'll also slide on tile and hardwood. You're going to want to slide for this workout. It's going to need you to slide. If you guys don't have socks, if you've been going barefoot for this workout today, please go put a pair of socks on for this next part of the workout.
whether you're on carpet, whether you're on hard floor. We're not going to be using our mat for the next part of this workout. We need a space where we can slide. So I think that was enough time to emphasize the space that you're going to need for your workout. I'm going to get started with that actual workout. We're going to go into a push-up position and we're going to slide into a pike. We're going to start by going into our push-up on the point of our toe, not a flex foot, but on the point of our toe. So in my push-up, but with my toes pointed. So I'm starting here on my knees, toes pointed back, and now I'm going to push into hollow, and I'm going to slide into a pike, just like that. That I can kind of stand up out of it. Right? Now I'm going to go ahead and set myself back down nice and slow. But again, if you don't have space to slide or you don't have the means to slide, this workout is probably not for you. Make sure that you take care of yourself. Consider your body and your health as well as your strength, you know. So get into that position, toes pointed, hollow body, and slide. And there's a moment there where on that last one I just did, I flicked the floor away. Flick the floor away. So I'm going to keep with that trend, trying to pull my feet through that slide and land on the flat of my foot. Whew, lots of effort. So go ahead and get into the toe point and slide, flick, and land on the feet. That is our goal. Back into the toe point, push up hollow, and slide, and flick, and throw the floor. And we're going to keep that going. Just a few more, because it's a pretty tough one. Get into that toe pointed hold. Slide, flick, and land. Back out. Slide, flick, and land. And now my hands, if this is the floor in front of me, you guys can catch your breath for a moment if you need to. My hands on the floor are turned slightly like this. I don't have my fingers straight and forward. My fingers aren't even together. My hands are slightly outturned. This really does help. Having your hands slightly turned like this really relieves a lot of the pressure and the strain on your wrist. It does make flicking the floor away a sort of challenging action to do. So when you guys are doing this workout, keep in mind, flick the floor away as best as possible, but be considerate of your wrist. We're going to get back into our last few attempts at this movement. So down in this pike, or push up toe point, we're going to slide the pike, flick the floor away, and land on the flat of your foot. Let's do it 2 more times together. Hold, and slide and flick, and then one last one, hold, and slide and flick. Woo! Alright, so if you've ever actually gone out and climbed a wall, you can feel how those are a lot of the same muscle groups that we would use to climb a wall. Not having an actual wall, being able to replicate that is a really cool thing. But again, it does kind of require that you have less friction, that you have a sliding space, like the socks on carpet, or socks on tile, or socks on hardwood. So socks for class today. That's why I said it at the start of class. Now, guys, our next workout is not going to be nearly as cool or as fun, but it is going to be super important. We need to address it. It's going to be, drum roll please, calf raises. That's right. Not a lot of people work out their calves, but we're gonna. So whenever you guys are doing stuff on walls, especially if you're doing a wall pop or a wall run, the last part of your leg to fire is your foot. Boom! It's in this flexed position where it's wedged in. Like if you've got an obstacle like a wall or something like this, your foot is folded up, it's flexed, and you gotta get, boom, to that point. So, if you guys have it, you can use something that you can stand on that will help to elevate you just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, it's just a little bit, just enough that you can get your heels to drop down under the height of the ball of your toe. So, if you have something, go on ahead and look to find one now. Please don't be silly. You don't need to stand on something round. like a foam roller, where then you have to balance and also do your lifts. Oh my God, that's not good. So don't use something that's not gonna facilitate this help.
Do you need a book?
If that's fine. If you don't have a book, if you can't elevate your feet, you're gonna do them just fine on the flat ground. So we're going to get into our calf raises, but lifting way, way, way high up into an arched foot, pressing that heel up into the air, pressing that ground down and away, and boom, we're gonna go ahead and keep doing that. Nice and slow and controlled. That's the trick, is slow and controlled for right now. Simple moves to finish off an otherwise pretty extensive class. We worked on a bunch of our body today. We had quite a lot of shoulders and chest that we were working on. You guys definitely felt some of that in your forearms. That's why our mobility today, we did those wrist flexes and wrist points. So we did make those slight adjustments to try to prepare for the workouts that we were going for today. We also got a cool series of body workouts where we talked about our hollow body position and our arch body position, which we are going to talk about again in our swing mechanics episode that will be coming up later on. So keep in mind that we've got a bunch of streams going. Keep your calf raises going. Keep yourselves invested. If you guys are super interested in the streams and you want to, support us, if you're not a member, go ahead and give those calf raises a break and catch your breath. If you're not a member of the gym and you want to help to support the gym, you can donate to the gym. It is a small business. It is currently, in a uncertain position with all the rest of the small businesses in the U.S. currently. So it does look like a very tough time. And if you guys are able to, we would gratefully and graciously accept donations. PayPal. You can donate to our PayPal. It's firestormfreerunning@gmail.com. And only on PayPal is where we're accepting our donations currently. So you guys keep that in mind. If you are a member, you can keep your membership active. You can keep it going. You can accumulate makeups. These classes don't cost you anything. So since they are free, we love you and we're just giving them to you. Please do them. I mean, the world is falling apart, so don't let your body fall apart with it. Make sense? Cool. We're gonna go on ahead and get a quick drink of water. I'm sure that was enough time. I need some water. Guys, we're gonna start our stretches in just a minute. All right. Cool. So I'll be taking a seat down here, getting pretty low, doing the majority of today's stretches from the floor. So take a seat, get yourself situated nice and right. Make sure that there's plenty of space around you. We targeted our abs today. We used our quads to help us to do so, and quite a lot of our shoulders and chest. So what we're actually going to start with is our upper body for our stretches today. One of the stretches that we've done in the previous class for our neck, we're going to do now. You guys can do it from a seated position where you sit one hand underneath your bum and you tilt your head to the opposite direction so we can really open up the side of our neck here, just like we opened up the door to let the cats out for our stretches. They've been taking some naps in the bedroom, so you may not see them today. But we're gonna go ahead and tilt our head over to the side, grab our head with our opposite hand, and pull this side of our neck open. Not too hard, just a little bit. Keep your spine nice and strong, sat up nice and straight. Nice big flex on your lower back to push your front of your chest up. Good, and release the neck and come out of that seated position off the hand. Switch now, seated on the opposite hand, and hand on the head and neck is gonna, turn. I don't know if you guys heard that, but Summer did.
Now, I'll start taking questions whenever you guys are ready. So if you've got questions, go on ahead and hit me with them. Today was an interesting class. We worked on some cool, fun stuff. If you have any questions about class today, fire away. If not, I'll just sit here and stretch, and you'll sit there and follow. Which reminds me, some of you may not be following us currently. If you guys are not following us, go on ahead and release that next stretch, then click the follow button. You can also click or subscribe rather, not follow. Silly boy, I don't know all this social media terms. But yeah, you guys go on ahead and click our subscribe button, and you can also click our notification bell so you guys can see whenever we create new content. We're gonna go on ahead and stop with our neck, start with our shoulders. We're gonna put our hands back behind us, and we're gonna point those hands back behind us towards the wall. So, or towards your chair. Then we're gonna slide ourselves away, sliding our bottom away from our hands. Nice. Once you get down there and into that stretch a little bit, please make sure that you're not sliding so far that your hands are sliding apart from each other. You don't want them sliding out towards the walls on either side of you. You want to try and stay in this nice narrow configuration as best as possible. If you're less flexible, you'll find yourself upright more and with your hands out and wide to the side more. This makes sense if you are, again, less flexible. But our goal is still hands back behind us in a fairly narrow placement, and then slide away as narrow as you can keep them. They're tough. They're tough there. I don't get down that low. So, as you guys can see, some of us are more or less flexible than others. Go on ahead and come on out of that. Sit up, slowly slide the hands around to the outside. Readjust yourself back to the center of your stretching space. And we're going to circle our elbows out, stretching our wrists out just a little bit at the same time. We've done this a couple times now. So, back of the hands together, elbows out. We're going to go ahead and push our hands into our chest and press our elbows towards each other just like that. Stretching out, just a little bit of the elbow. You feel that in your forearm, you feel that in your wrist. And we're going to go ahead and start with that roll. Keeping pressure between our hands, pinkies together, palms together, then thumbs and fingers and back of hand together again. Go ahead and roll those out. Do you guys have any other questions about today's class? You guys feel like, I want to see more of this or more of that. Today's workout was a good one. Input like that. As far as you guys have got it, we want to make sure that this platform that you guys have chosen is one that communicates with you as well as it can. So as far as it goes, we're a community. We have to communicate in order to create something that the community wants. We want to have to go the opposite direction with those wrist rolls. So that being said, if you guys did want to, you can reach out. Even if you miss the live air and you don't get the chance to ask those questions right now, but questions come up in post, you guys can go on ahead and ask some of those questions in post. When I will do another episode, like we just did episode 8, go ahead and give those wrist rolls a stop. We're going to sit in a butterfly. I just did episode 8 today. Thank you guys for watching, by the way. But that being said, if you want to leave a question, I will answer it in a following episode, like 9 or 10 or 11. So that way we will have an opportunity to fill some of this time. If you're not currently asking questions in the live, we'll be asking our later questions or answering those later asked questions in the live. So pull those feet in nice and tight. Flap those butterfly wings out. Cool. Thanks, guys. That's pretty much all my cool, fun, crazy announcements for the day. We're going to finish with our stretches, just a few more stretches, and then I'm going to let you go. And I'm going to get back to probably doing more workouts. Honestly, since I have so much open space in my living room right now, it'd be a waste not to. We're going to go ahead and get into a pike stretch. Put those legs up nice into a straight toe point position. We're going to reach up above our head, and we're going to fold at the spine down into our body. Now, you guys can see if I fold, and then I stop here, and I break my head away from my arms, I'm not going to get as deep into my stretch. So try and keep your head tucked in. We're going to go back up to the top. Toes are pointed, sitting up strong. and go in with your whole head and body. Don't forget to breathe, guys. You're going to have to make sure you keep breathing. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth the whole time that we're doing these last few stretches. Good, and come on out of that pike. We're going to go into a straddle now. So push those legs nice and wide and open. If you guys want, we can do one of the things that I like to do personally. We're going to turn ourselves into a slightly bent position here, where I can then use my back arm to push my feet slightly further apart than I would if I was normally just sitting in side to side. So I can push myself in, almost like I'm doing a front to back lunge. So I'm pushing myself in wide like that. And then I'm going to turn my legs over, keeping my feet wide as possible. Oh, sitting myself into the widest straddle that I can manage currently. And I'm going to now point my toes, flex my calves, flex my quads. I'm going to put my fingers underneath, taking those thumbs up, turning the thumbs down, and sliding my fingers into the bottom of my calf, holding my chest and my belly button up and out in front of me, just like that. Don't forget to breathe in the nose and out the mouth. And don't forget to ask questions if you got them. Questions are one of the most valuable things that you guys have. Hey, you don't even realize it. If you have the willingness to ask questions, you will become more and more intelligent. Asking bold questions is the best way that you guys can go about doing and living your life. If there's something that you don't know, admitting that you don't know it is the only way to get over that. So, that being said, saying I don't know is not a bad thing. It's good. It's okay to be able to be emotionally mature enough to admit if you don't know something, and then to be intelligent enough to willingly ask a question. It takes a little bit of confidence, and I trust and believe that if you guys have got it, then you ask questions a bunch already. And if you guys are still working on it, then you should start by asking a few questions when you have the opportunity to do so now, where you're not in front of a big crowd of people, where you aren't going to get called out like you would in a normal classroom environment. So if you guys are at home doing digital classes, ask your questions, especially if you have a sense of anonymity. It's a great opportunity for you to make the most out of it. Good, come out of that straddle, and I'm going to come out of that lecture about life. I'm going to go ahead and figure four. So cross one leg over the other, grab a hold of your foot, roll your ankle out. Big, big circles for the ankle roll. Nice job, guys. Make sure you roll that ankle in both directions. And if you guys like my living room, you can always comment about that. That's fine. It's okay. We're open for all discussion. Some of us have become, bored with each other at home. Switch legs. Woo. Alright. I'm going to grab a hold of that toe. Really roll out that toe. Make sure that we switch not just legs, but once we get that circle going, we're going to switch directions as well. Don't forget to breathe in your nose and out your mouth, and to keep doing so consistently. And if you haven't breathed, you haven't taken a breath, right, this whole time, you're dead now. You're probably dead. That's really all there is to it. So make sure that you're breathing, you keep breathing, but that you're breathing the right way, in your nose and out your mouth. Switch directions with your ankle roll if you have not yet done so. All right, guys. So we appreciate your viewership. Really, it is an important time in the world. We all have to work really hard to take care of each other and to handle ourselves responsibly. So you guys do the most that you can. Wash your hands, stay clean, stay safe. Avoid unnecessary travel out of your home as you need to. And, big shout out to all of our medical staff that are currently overwhelmed with the absolute crisis that the world is in right now. So big shout out to all of them. They're wonderful people. Thank you very much. Also to all of our food service people that are still stuck, and grocery store people that are, sometimes some of those people are older people that are, at risk. Some of those environments are heavily trafficked. So you guys, please stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and continue to watch. Share the videos with someone else. Everyone is stuck at home at this point. There's like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like everyone is pretty much stuck at home. So share the videos with your friends if you enjoyed this video or you enjoyed a previous video, whichever one was your favorite. Just watch that one a bunch instead of the new ones. Thanks guys, please continue watching. Enjoy yourself. Bye.